Hello and welcome to my first ever video. I wanted to talk about the books that I'm going to read this summer before I go back to uni, mainly because I don't have anyone to talk about it with, so I decided to just, bite the bullet and start a YouTube channel. So I hope you enjoy this video. The first book that I wanted to read was Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. This is about a man, David, who is reminiscing about his life, mainly about his affair with another man, Giovanni. It is about David trying to grapple with his sexuality and reflect on his life with his ex-fiancée, Hella. I've really wanted to read this book for a long time, ever since I started getting into queer lit and queer history, and this book just kept on coming up, so I hope I finally get around to it this summer. The next book I wanted to read is a collection of short stories by Shirley Jackson titled The Demon Lover. Shirley Jackson is mainly known for something that I've seen called domestic horror, which is a subgenre of horror that focuses on the home or family. I've read The Haunting of Hill House, which I really loved and got me interested in Shirley Jackson's other work. So The Demon Lover is about a woman trying to find her fiancé on her wedding day, and that's really all I know. I'm also not really familiar with the other stories in this collection. I actually didn't realize it was a short story collection when I bought it, but I'm sure I will enjoy nearly all of these stories. I'm also hoping to get around to reading Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut, I think is how you pronounce his last name. This is about a man, Billy, who is trying to write a book about his experiences as a prisoner of war in Dresden during World War II. However, it becomes increasingly more clear that Billy is experiencing things out of chronological order, and you get the sense that he doesn't have a proper grasp on time. I think this book is going to be a really different and a really interesting take to how soldiers experience trauma and the effect that it can have if left untreated. Switching to a completely different sort of vibe, my partner has lent me A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. This is the memoir of Lady Trent, who is in this story a pioneer of the study of dragons, and it follows her from a young girl developing this interest, which is considered very taboo, to the woman that is now writing the memoir. I love fiction that is written as non-fiction. There is something so creative about it, to be able to reflect real world experiences and studies in complete fantasy. The only other book that I really know that does this is World War Z, so if you do have any recommendations of any other books which do this, please let me know. The final book on my TBR this summer is Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I hope I'm saying that right. This book is an absolute beast, just not in terms of size, but also in the way that it is written, because obviously it was written so long ago. So I am both physically reading it and also audiobooking it. I'll put the link in the description because it's an audiobook I found on YouTube, but there were also audiobooks available in my library and everything like that. It's not a difficult book to find at all. This book follows Royden Raskolnikov, a former student who murders an old pawnbroker and her sister, and throughout the rest of the story, Royden is trying to deal with the guilt of committing these murders. I'm a few chapters into this already, and I'm really enjoying it. However, I am finding it difficult to understand because I never studied Russian history, so I don't have a lot of the context. However, I've been reading the spark notes after each chapter, and that has been incredibly helpful. So I would recommend that if you are also reading Crime and Punishment and having a difficult time struggling to understand what's going on, just maybe popping chapter 5 into YouTube and the spark notes will come up, and it's a lot easier to understand everything. So those are the books on my summer TBR. I do have a few others that I would like to get to if I have the time, which are American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis, Perfume by Patrick Suskind, and The Protest Psychosis, How Schizophrenia Became the Black Disease by Jonathan Metzl. I'm probably not going to get to these last three because I tend to be a very slow reader, but I am going on holiday, so I hope that I can just relax and read. for most of the time. Thank you for watching this video. I apologize for any poor audio or visual qualities that happened in this video, and also the kind of poor lighting. My only source of lighting is this window right here, so hopefully I sort that out. If I lean back, it changes. That's weird. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Just enjoy the rest of your day.